Welcome to Ellis B. Feaster's Radio Aircheck and Classic TV channel.
Washington's Mix 107.3, the Diamond in the Morning show. Graham, Arbitron rated 11 listeners strong, and darn lucky to have that many. 824. Here's the Dave Matthews Band, Crash Into Me, from the Crash CD. Mix 107.3. Wee wee. From the nation's capital, it's Mix 107.3 in Washington, D.C. Diamond of the Morning at 8:27. That's Dave Matthews Band and Crash Into Me on Mix 107.3. Oh, there we go again.
I call that job security.
Some sun poking through the clouds now. We'll see more sun as the day wears on, and a high of 70 today. Tomorrow, mostly sunny and 70. Wednesday, mostly sunny and 75. It is 55 in Baltimore, 49 at Dulles, and 53 at National Airport, Mix 107.3. You'd like to believe everybody who gets married out of love.
Yes, you would.
And a desire to spend the rest of their lives together in wonderment and joy every day.
Yes.
Well, not all brides marry for love. Some do it just to have a great party. A survey in Brides Magazine reveals that 9% of brides-to-be admit they're getting married just so they can throw a big reception.
Boy, they're in for a big shock.
Yeah.
Let me tell you.
3% say they're getting married just for the wedding gifts.
What?
Seriously. Other secrets of the survey revealed show that 6% of brides say they're tying the knot to please their mother. Well, that I believe. 29% are afraid mom will take control of the wedding, though.
Yeah.
30% of the brides were worried their future hubby will have a wild bachelor party. And 5% of brides admit that they're concerned their husbands might ditch them before they get to the altar.
Wow.
Jeez, how depressing.
We wonder why the divorce rate is so high.
Yeah. I mean,
3%.
haven't they ever heard of, potluck? If you want to have a party, have a party.
3% do it just for the wedding gifts. Admitted that.
They get a toaster. Big whoop.
9% admitted it just for the party.
That's astounding, isn't it?
Yes, it is, actually. 8:29 in Washington, Mix 107.3.
See, I've always thought that was the whole wrong approach anyway, because when you're getting married, you have this partner and you have the love and the joy and everything to share for the rest of your life. The people who should be able to register for gifts are people who are single and bitter like me. Do you see what I'm saying?
Where would you register, Stace?
Everywhere. Everywhere. You could buy me as many gifts as you want, but you already get a lot of stuff you get a lot of emotional fulfillment out of your wedding.
Yes, hopefully so. That's really the point, isn't it? 8:29, Stace, what's up now?
Just a lot of slow traffic, particularly south of town, trying to come up 210 and 295. There had been an accident on the ramp between 210 and 295. This traffic update brought to you by UPN 20. I'm Stacey Bin with traffic on Mix 107.3.
It's 53 degrees at 8:30. I'm Barbara Britt with Mix 107.3 News and Information brought to you by Honor Tech. The suspect charged with fatally wounding a D.C. police officer Saturday night has a long police record, according to Mayor Barry, who says 22-year-old Maurice Douglas Jr. is not a newcomer to crime. Police officer Robert Johnson and Sergeant Paul Shelton were near the 6th District Police Station waiting for a fellow officer to get off work to celebrate Sergeant Shelton's birthday on Saturday night when they were shot from 30 yards away. Police Chief Larry Soulsby says the officers never even returned fire. Officer Johnson died several hours later. He is survived by his wife and 2 small children. Sergeant Shelton, shot in both feet, was treated and released. Officer Johnson is the 3rd district police officer shot and killed in as many months. Search crews have spotted the wreckage of a missing helicopter in a remote area of Loudoun County. State police say the 2 people aboard are believed to have been killed in the crash. The helicopter dropped from radar between 10:30 and 11 last night. An emergency locator signal was reported by the Leesburg Airport shortly thereafter. State police and Civil Air Patrol located the craft in a remote area about 5:30 this morning. The rain overnight had hampered their efforts. A military jury in Aberdeen, Maryland resumes deliberations today in the court-martial of Delmar Simpson, the Army drill sergeant accused of raping trainees. But first, jurors want to review defense witness testimony. The Bullets played well yesterday, but not well enough to compensate for the 55 points scored single-handedly by Michael Jordan. The Bulls beat the Bullets 109-104 in Game 2. Game 3 of the NBA playoffs will be at the US Air Arena. It's a must-win for the Bullets. Orioles lost to the Red Sox 13-7. Washington weather today, some mist and drizzle will be clearing out early this morning to mostly cloudy and then clearing by this afternoon, a high 70 degrees. Tonight it'll be clear down to 45. Tuesday mostly sunny, high 70. Wednesday partly sunny, high 75. 50 degrees in Bethesda, 52 in Fairfax, 53 at National. The time is 8:32. With Mix 107.3 News and Information, I'm Barbara Britt.
Tonight, it's the sensual WB drama that has suddenly brought a new thrill to Monday nights. Buffy the Vampire Slayer. What would you do if your best friend fell into the grasp of a seductive stranger? A man no one has ever seen. A man who's been dead for centuries. Tonight, Willow accesses an ancient demon on the internet.
You have mail.
And his power to seduce minds
If you're not jacked in, you're not alive.
is his deadliest weapon of all.
She's too close. What do I do?
Terror has a new address. The World Wide Web.
Kill her.
An all-new Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
But remember, the WB is always there for you and your family earlier in the evening. The Frog kicks off every Monday with Seventh Heaven. Tonight it's an all-new Seventh Heaven, followed by an all-new Buffy, only on the WB.
Tonight, beginning at 8 on WB 50. Cellular service lets you talk. But can cellular let you get messages, pages, show you who's calling before you answer, and keep your calls private so no one can listen in? Can cellular really do all that? Nope, it can't. But finally, something can. Sprint Spectrum. The personal phone, answering machine, and pager all in one. It does much more than cellular service. Surprisingly, for much less than cellular service. Watch your life come together in really nice ways. Call 800-311-4220 and get the full spectrum.
For a limited time only, save $40 on the all-in-one Sprint Spectrum at Radio Shack. Just buy a Sprint Spectrum Nokia handset at any Radio Shack and get $40 back by mail.
Diamond in the morning. It's 107.3.
Washington's Mix 107.3 at 8:41. 19 minutes to get in on time by 9. A little bit more sun this morning than anticipated. Perhaps in your area still cloudy, but you will see sun eventually. And 70 for the high today. Mostly sunny tomorrow and 70. Then Wednesday, partly sunny and 75. In Bethesda, 50. Fairfax, 52. Baltimore, 55. Dulles, the cool spot at 49. And National, 53. Mix 107.3.
You know, there's something that's always amazed me, and maybe you can explain this to me.
Well, let's try.
It's people who will say to you, you know, I have to go to this party tonight, and I really don't want to go because I don't like these people very much, but hey, free food. And I think to myself, that's fine if you're starving or if you really need to feed your children, but under ordinary circumstances,
Yes.
if you don't like these people, buy your own food.
Food's relatively easy to come by.
You would think so. I mean, I just don't understand the concept of going through an evening of hell just so you can get some free hors d'oeuvres. But the Prevention Magazine has put out a survey under the charming title, Americans are pigs.
Oh, lovely. Well,
saying that 54% of Americans are bottomless pits who clean their plates even when they're stuffed to the gills.
no kidding.
That 50% of Americans say they will pig out at parties even when they're not hungry. And 39% say they will eat automatically just because food is available. 43% of women say they eat when they're bored.
Yeah.
And this is compared to only 31% of men, so men must have some other activity that we don't know anything about.
I think we do. But anyway, let's move on.
32% of women say they eat when they're depressed, and only 11% of men say they eat when they're depressed.
You know, it's interesting. One of the reasons people smoke or eat or drink is to change their state, their physiological state. And if you've noticed, if you're sitting at your desk and you just can't get into whatever it is you're doing, if you get up and simply stretch, go for a short walk, and come back, all of a sudden you can refocus.
Yeah.
It's changing your state. So in a lot of cases, you're bored or you're upset, you're angry, you get up to go feed yourself to increase your metabolism or satiate your body metabolically, and then all of a sudden you quote, feel satisfied or better.
But when you're full, you're full. I
Yeah.
mean, it's painful to put more food in your stomach than you can handle.
But it does happen, and I think that's why so many of us are a little bit overweight, because you learn that from when you're a kid. You know, clean your plate no matter what.
Well, they say rather than go to the refrigerator or the cabinet, have a diet beverage, take some fruit, peel an orange, eat that, and you'll find that you've satiated what you really needed was simply to change your metabolic, your physiological state. Try that instead of just grabbing whatever that you think will satiate you.
Yeah, and if you don't like the people, don't go to the party.
Or just grab the Twinkies and go for it. No.
That's right. Be happy with yourself.
Stacey, it's 8:43, 17 before 9. What's up with mixed traffic?
Well, it's winding down in most areas as far as any play-by-play events are concerned. There is an accident on the westbound freeway. This traffic update brought to you by Baltimore American Mortgage. Eliminate your card debt today. No equity requirements, no points. Call 1-800-845-PLAN. I'm Stacey Bin with traffic on Mix 107.3.
Maybe you prefer cool, you like it hot. Anything that you like, well, that's what we've got. So whatever you want, just order up, please. You belong at Applebee's.
Welcome to a hot new idea from America's favorite neighbor, Skillet Sensations at Applebee's. Deliciously tasty, piping hot skillets bubbling with flavors everyone will love. From the shrimp and spice of our New Orleans skillet to the rich tomatoey zest of Sicilian pasta or the south of the border taste of Mesa Grande chicken. So get to Applebee's today and don't miss the hottest thing going right now, our all-new Skillet Sensations.
Yes, it's the come as you are. Eat what you like. Sit back and relax. Little neighborhood place. You belong at Applebee's.
A great place to eat and work. They're adding energetic staff at all of their Washington, D.C. locations. Stop in and apply with one of their managers today.
Diamond in the morning. Mix 107.3.
Washington's Mix 107.3, Diamond in the morning at 8:51. Love will find a way. It always does. And then we do something to screw it up. It's inevitable. Love will find a way.
Yeah, but it's just a detour many times.
Some sun through the clouds now. Eventually a partly sunny day and 70 for the high. Mostly sunny tomorrow, 70, 75 on Wednesday under sunny skies. Recently, Brooke Shields and Andre Agassi were married. In fact, the same weekend, Chris O'Donnell and Caroline Fentress were married. And Brooke and Andre, this is cute. Here's some things that occurred at their wedding. A little behind-the-scenes stuff.
Oh, good. Scoop.
The morning of the wedding, Brooke went for a walk in the grounds of the Stone Pine Estate in Carmel, which is unbelievable. It's breathtaking. Sat down on the lawn to meditate. The sprinkler system turned on and drenched her. She wore a Heidi Weissel gown, and he wore an Alfred Dunhill tux. Dunhill tuxes are very chic, very British cut, very, very elegant. One member of the paparazzi was arrested after he was caught sneaking around dressed like a bush.
Like a bush.
The bush would
He tied
move.
tree branches on it.
Snap a picture. The bush would move. Snap a picture.
Eddie, have I got a job for you?
His name was Wile E. Coyote.
Brooke had a fake bride who took off in a town car after the ceremony to thwart the press, and a number of them did follow. 150 guests on hand, including Judd Nelson and Natasha Kinski. Dinner consisted of a choice of veal scallopini with mushroom risotto or chicken. Now, female guests received miniature porcelain wedding cake boxes, and men got silver luggage tags.
Nice.
Wow, that's nice.
Yeah. Their first dance was to True Companion, sung by Grammy winner Mark Cohn. Not a bad wedding.
Yeah.
Sounds nice.
Yeah.
I actually like the fact that she went out and meditated and got sprinkled on. I think she liked it, too.
Oh, I'm sure.
As a positive, fun sign of things to come.
That's the story that will be told to the children and grandchildren for years down the road.
Chris and Caroline, meanwhile, O'Donnell's 4-year-old nephew, who was the ring bearer, got nervous, burst into tears, and refused to walk down the aisle. 250 guests, including Sandra Bullock and Joel Schumacher. Reception was held at the National Museum of Women and the Arts here in Washington. The dinner, lamb chops and spring asparagus. The first dance was to Jerome Kern's The Way You Look Tonight. And then O'Donnell's college buddies went wild, grabbed the microphone, and sang the lyrics to Shout. Then they formed a conga line.
Oh, boy, the conga line is trouble.
How do you go from How You Look Tonight to Shout?
Everybody's got to shout. The couple drove off in a 1929 Cadillac and spent their honeymoon on a private yacht in the Caribbean.
Nice.
Both sound like they got off to really nice starts to their lives together.
Fun weddings.
We certainly wish both couples the best. It's 8:54 in Washington, D.C. Mix 107.3's At Work Network. More than 50 minutes of continuous music an hour begins next on Mix.
Anacostia bridges are emptying out pretty nicely considering all the trouble. They've had a couple accidents on 295 near Portland Street, one on Suitland Parkway at South Cap, all cleared away. Catch an all-new Buffy the Vampire Slayer tonight at 9 on WB50. I'm Stacey Bin with traffic on Mix 107.3.
The best job opportunities in the Washington area are not advertised in the newspaper. They're on the internet at careershop.com.
Form must be postmarked by July 10th. Must be legal U.S. resident, 18 years or older.
WRQX Washington, a Disney ABC station. Where more than 50 minutes of continuous music kicks off the At Work Network.
The At Work Network from 9 to 5 every day.
On Mix 107.3.
Washington's Mix 107.3.
You can listen to it all day long. We listen to it at work. It's got a little bit of everything. It's really good.
Mix 107.3.